It's time for the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Each week, Trading Stocks Made Easy demystifies stock trading and investing so you can profit big. And now, here's the host of Trading Stocks Made Easy, the wealthy investor, Tyrone Jackson.
Well, hello there. It's Tyrone Jackson, the wealthy investor, and welcome back to Trading Stocks Made Easy. I'm happy that you and I are going to have some time here together for another fabulous episode. The revolution. Hey, did you know we're in the middle of a revolution? Obviously, most of you know we're in the middle of a technological revolution, but we're also in the middle of a revolution on Wall Street and when it comes to trading and buying and selling stocks online. And that is what today's show is all about. A little history of online trading and why life is so fabulous for you and I is what I'll be discussing with you on today's show. So I want you to sit back, relax, because today we're going to take your financial education to the next level so that you can understand how technology has impacted your ability and my ability to trade stocks from home. All of that coming up right after you take a listen to this.
You're listening to the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Want to learn more about how to trade and invest in the stock market? Visit thewealthyinvestor.net/products. That's thewealthyinvestor.net/products and order the Wealthy Investor's Guide to Stock Market Success audio series. This easy-to-follow 5-CD audio series and manual will teach you the basics of how to buy and sell stocks, how to collect quarterly dividends for life, plus hidden income generating strategies like covered call writing and volatility trading. Start creating financial freedom right now. Get the financial education you need to get ahead. Visit thewealthyinvestor.net/products.
Now that's right. Head on over to thewealthyinvestor.net and make sure you purchase that Wealthy Investor's Guide to Stock Market Success if you want to learn the basics of dividend collection, covered call writing, and how to grow your money. Now, in the Wealthy Investor Guide, it's you and I'm walking you through the market and some stocks that you could have owned over the last 5 years, and you'd see the pattern as to how to choose stocks. Now, as always, if you want to follow my trades on a weekly basis, join me at witradeschool.com. And that way I can answer your questions each and every week. Back to today's show, which is all about the revolution. A lot of people don't realize how technology has impacted your ability to log into your online trading account at, let's say, E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, or any other brokerage house and actually have access to Wall Street. So what I thought I'd do is just take a couple of minutes today to actually give you a little history lesson as to how this has all taken shape. And we're going to start, of course, in the 1960s. Now, in the 1960s, it was a tremendous time of revolution in the United States of America. Anybody who's lived through that period or studied history knows that there was a tremendous shift in thought and ideology during that time. It was also a period of tremendous upheaval due to racial tensions in the United States, as well as socioeconomic concerns. Some of the people who are well known from that era are people like Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Robert Kennedy, John Kennedy, Lyndon Baines Johnson. These were leaders who had to stand up and had to deal with the controversies of our time. So as I've mentioned, it was a time of great economic awareness where people who were underrepresented and found themselves in great poverty gained a voice. After our socio-political revolution had calmed down, there was a revolution soon to follow in the 1970s on Wall Street. And that story goes like this. You see, prior to the 1970s, the people who participated on Wall Street via share ownership were usually the ultra-rich. Why? Well, in order to invest or buy shares in a company, you had to have access to Wall Street and, more importantly, access to data and information about the company that you were investing in. Remember, at that time, there were only 3 television networks and no data stream that you can find because the internet was a long way from being invented. So as the investment industry started to take shape, someone realized there was an opportunity. If only the ultra-rich had access to Wall Street, was there a way to bring Wall Street to Main Street, to smaller investors, people who had $5, $10, $15, $20,000? How could they gain access? And one of the people who's largely credited with bringing Wall Street to Main Street is someone named Charles Schwab. And Charles Schwab had a Wall Street background and decided rather than chasing people who had hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars to invest, he would target his company and his services towards what a lot of people refer to today as mom and pops, and open up offices so that middle-class people who had a little bit of inheritance or sold a house, maybe $25,000, $5,000, $10,000, could gain access to Wall Street. And he opened a small brokerage firm where he would trade and invest people's money. And once that process became really successful, Charles Schwab decided he would open a multitude of offices. And Charles Schwab, although he is now a household name, was really part of the Wall Street revolution and being able to provide data and information to smaller traders and investors. Charles Schwab also allowed investors at his firm to trade, that is, buy and sell stocks at one low flat rate. Other firms adapted this same model because they realized there was a lot of money to be made in fees. So let me explain to you how that works. In the old days, prior to the 1960s, every time you bought or sold a stock, your trades or investments needed to be executed by a Wall Street professional, a stockbroker. The stockbroker worked for a brokerage firm. That brokerage firm took a fee of about 5% of what you had to invest each and every time you bought or sold a stock. That's how the brokerage firms made their money, by taking this 5% fee on every trade. It's almost like a toll taker on a bridge. When Charles Schwab came along, they discovered that if you had access to data, that you could buy and sell stocks and they would cut that fee, that toll taker's fee, in half. Fast forward 20 years later, the internet shows up, and a lot of people say that Al Gore is the one who claims to have invented the internet. Now, the internet had been around as part of a research project for the United States government many years before it turned commercial and we all had access to it. Well, when the internet technology came along, someone got the idea that why shouldn't you and I be able to buy and sell stocks online via the internet? All we would need is an online trading account with something called a username and password. But there was no model for that, with the exception of one. The model of usernames and passwords came from, believe it or not, the adult industry. The porn industry had discovered how to use credit cards online, how to build back-end systems, and how to charge people on a monthly basis for access to content. So all the technology that we actually see today around us, credit cards, usernames and passwords, scripts that provide you your username and password if you ever forget them, came from the adult industry. Now, I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but that is the truth. So the online trading industry used the technology that the adult industry had already discovered and developed its models from there. Well, the only thing that was missing was data and information. Well, these days, if you have an online trading account, TD Ameritrade or E-Trade, there's a lot of data that is inside of your account for free, and the brokerage firms make their money still taking tolls, except today it's a flat rate. So the average online trading commission has gone from 5% of what you were trading in a stock to about $4.95 flat rate to buy and sell a stock. Now, let's talk about some of the classifications of online trading brokerage houses. So in today's world, there are basically three classifications of online brokerage houses. The first is called full service, the second is called discount, and the third is called deep discount. Full service, discount, and deep discount. Now, at a full service brokerage house, you're going to have the benefit of having a personal broker assigned to you or being able to trade online. But most people who go full service are earning $500,000 and above, and they don't want to manage their money, so they get a stockbroker assigned to them to help them manage the money they have inside their account. At a discount house is where you'll find someone called a self-directed investor. Those are people like you and I who feel comfortable enough managing their money, buying and selling stocks online, all by themselves. Now, at a discount brokerage house, your online trading fees are substantially lower, that $5 to $6 or $7 that I talked about just a few minutes ago. Then finally, E-Trade pioneered another category, which is deep discount. E-Trade, standing for electronic trades, are for people who are extremely self-directed. They don't need or want a lot of hand-holding. They prefer to do it all themselves. As a result, they don't get 24-hour access to a stockbroker should one of their trades go wrong or they need help inside their account. These people are willing to pay the lowest base rate for buying and selling stocks online. Now, I have to tell you, if you ever become a Wealthy Investor student, I'm always going to recommend the discount category and a place like TD Ameritrade. Why? Because me and my students sometimes have a clash with technology and need to understand the mechanics of a trade or a fee or how stocks are listed on our trading platform inside our account. We can do that 24 hours a day at a place like TD Ameritrade because we pay a slightly higher rate for our trades that subsidize the cost of 24-hour customer service. So middle-class people like to save every single penny that they can and wind up opening an account at E-Trade. There's nothing wrong with E-Trade at all, except at 11:30 at night, if you ever need to talk to someone about something you don't understand in your account, you won't have access to 24-hour service. Don't be cheap, be smart. Take the middle of the road, the discount brokerage houses like TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, or Charles Schwab, which has a discount program connected to their overall brokerage system. So you see, the history of online trading spans about 20 to 35 years. It involves everything from technology developed by the adult industry to data and information that you and I have access to today, which 35, 40, 50 years ago, we didn't have to. So what that means is this is an exciting time to be alive. It's an exciting time to be learning how to trade and invest online because, as they say in the industry, there are almost no barriers to entry. All you really need now is desire, motivation, and a financial education to learn how to play the money game at the highest level for wealth and residual income. And that's what I do in the Wealthy Investor Program, and why I love it so much is I have the opportunity to not only introduce you to the stock market, the language, the trades, and a style of trading that produces income each and every month. Now, my core strategy that I teach, as most of you know by now, is something called covered call writing, where we buy a stock and we sell an option to someone we don't know, and we get paid to sell our stock to a third party. It turns out that covered call writing allows you to generate hundreds of dollars and even thousands of dollars for the rest of your life. And as you know by now, you can trade stocks from anywhere in the world as long as you have access to online, a computer, or a handheld device. So you see, if you really desire change in your life financially, and you like making money in your spare time, you probably are a stock market trader to be, or are a student of mine learning how to take your game to the next level. It's the online technology that allows all of us to benefit from the changes that have gone on in the industry. Now, I'm here as your coach and specialist to help teach you how to create financial freedom on Wall Street. Now, it's my hope that you got something out of this brief history of online trading. Of course, there's always more that I can go into, but what I wanted to provide you in this episode that you can listen to over and over again is a way of understanding how we've arrived to this point and how exciting this time is. Well, just like an option, my time has expired. And this is Tyrone Jackson, the Wealthy Investor, saying thank you for joining me on this episode, A Brief History of Online Trading. I wish you happiness, peace, joy, and financial success. I'll see you next time.
You've been listening to the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Be sure to rate and review our show on iTunes. While you're on iTunes, be sure to click the subscribe button and you'll automatically receive our next episode.